So this month, I'm walking across the stage with a diploma in one hand and $100,000 in debt in the other hand. And I really don't know how to feel about that just yet. The only reason why I truly went to college was because of my mom, right? When I was in high school, I was like, I don't want to go to college in the first place, right? I kind of already knew I wanted to do like YouTube, be an entrepreneur, go down, the digital route, in other words. But, my mom was raised in a different, headspace. She went and got her master's and stuff like that. So that was the headspace she was pushing on me at the time, right? So, you know how parents be and be like, hey, if you're going to stay here, you got to go to school, right? And so at the time, I was like, whatever. And I ended up going to Cal State Northridge, right, for business real estate. And then, bro, long story short, I didn't want to be there no more. I ended up failing all my classes on purpose and got kicked out. And in the back of my head, I knew I still need to go to school. So I found this film school since it was kind of correlated to what I wanted to do digitally anyways. And now it's about 4 years later, I'm about to have the bachelor's in visual effects and editing. But I just got that email for the tuition. And looking at it, it was like, wow. Because personally, I don't think that was worth $100,000, right? Now, you can say like knowledge is invaluable, right? Just being experienced to different things and having your eyes open is invaluable, right? Of course. But something I've noticed is that a lot of the things that was being taught in school was things that you probably could have just went on the internet and found anyways, right? You could have just did a simple YouTube search and found it. The only difference, really, was that it was structured, right? It was just packaged up. The information was already out here. The videos were free. All the information and the stuff that we wanted to do was free. They just packaged it up and made it look kind of pretty, made it like something that you can follow. And, I started my business while I was in school because I kind of already knew that this time was going to come, right? So I tried my hardest not to delay the process of starting my own thing, just, trying to figure out how I'm going to pay that bill for my own creative endeavors early. And I probably, took my attention off school as much, right? Because I just want the degree realistically. Because people, say it's a good backup plan, whatever the case may be. So why not? But the closer I got to the back end of school these last couple months, I was like, this isn't something I really want to do as a job, right? The skill set is amazing. I would love to implement that, into my own creative endeavors when it's needed. But I can't see myself doing that every single day, 9 to 5, regardless of how much money it pays me, right? It just wasn't aligning. I have more of a free spirit, right? And going down that path was causing me it felt like I was going to have to settle in some type of facet. And it really just wasn't sitting with me. But as for this $100,000 that's about to get put, on my name, which is realistically it's already on my name, it isn't so much like anxiety, right? Because like I said, I knew that this was coming. So it's not this thing where it's, just beating me down to the floor and I can't think. But it is opening my eyes to time, right? If I would have aligned myself sooner with things that I actually wanted to do, I probably would have saw results, right? In the areas that I truly wanted to. I think school kind of put a crutch behind me, right? Because at the times where I wasn't going as hard, I wasn't as focused, I wasn't, doing what I needed to do. The excuse was always, well, I'm in school, I'm a student, I'm learning, whatever the case may be. What most typical college students do, really, they use it as like almost an excuse to not move forward. And that was kind of, what I was doing. I was, applying myself, but it wasn't to the fullest capacity and in the right places, right? So now that I'm about to graduate and my time is coming back, I'm having to make decisions about what do I actually want to pursue, what do I actually want to do, etc. It's not pulling me so much towards what I went to school for. And it's crazy because a lot of people say people don't usually get jobs in the thing that they went to school for, right? This isn't something that's foreign. Granted, it's still in the same, you know, area, right? Because it's tied to film and stuff like that. So I could turn around and sell, these attributes. I can have more of like a bit like a CEO type of headspace and just like, have other people do it for me since I know kind of how to oversee it. But actually doing it, nah, right? So I mean, if you're somebody who's gonna go to school, the first thing I have to say is make sure you're going to school because you want to go to school, not because of anybody else, right? Um, if you truly don't want to go to school, then do what you have to so you can make that decision and align yourself with what you truly want out of life. Now, it's a learning curve, right? But over time, I'm seeing things that I started off doing, I really never stopped, right? Over time and in life, I kind of just started adding on more unnecessary stuff. But the core root, I've been doing the same thing since the very beginning. Like making videos, right? I have my first YouTube video posted on another account from like 2013 or something like that. Like I was still squeaking. I had like a little kid voice in it. Um, I was still gaming. Take pictures, whatever the case. I mean, like these are just things that was normal. Editing. I think I operate better when I'm free. When I'm free, I'm more efficient. And I think when I'm outside of the constructs of what society or my peers are asking for me, I'm actually more potent. You know, I was writing down in my journal too. Legacy moves are always going to be more powerful, more, potent, and it's always going to be the things that catapult you further along your path because they're things that you were meant to do, right? Meant to experience, meant to give, whatever the case may be. When you're living out of your purpose and you're making moves from the energy that you were destined to put here from. Like for me, I'm very smart, right? Part of my calling is to give it back, whether that's emotional intelligence, whether that's business, whether that's art. Part of my purpose is giving, right? So doing these things, whenever I give, whenever I'm in my creative element, whenever I'm just being free in my expression and my thought, I get the most done. And I kind of don't want to go back to an environment where I'm boxed in because it doesn't work. It doesn't. I always reach a plateau and then I tap out. I'm not, like, I can be real with myself, right? I will tap out. I'm not the type of person who can stay at a job for years and all this other type of shit, especially if I don't like it. If I don't, if I'm not being stimulated by it. I was watching this video. His name is YouTube channel is Lord Heck Squad. And he was saying in this video too, where he was like, he's just not stimulated by the job that he has because he just got a job in IT or whatever the case may be, and it's just not stimulating him. That's how I kind of felt about school. I can do it. It's easy because it's a skill set, right? I've been doing it for a cool minute, but I'm not being stimulated by doing this. So over time, my attention level is going to go down. My efficiency level is going to go down. I don't think that's fair to anybody for me to be doing something that I'm not going to give my full energy to, right? Because then I'm not giving my fullest gifts, my fullest authenticity, my deepest sense of love to the world because I don't even want to do it in the first place. So, I mean, it's it's a journey, you know. It's a mental thing with me, which is why I was saying I'm not like anxious or anything as much. I'm kind of reaching like a calming point, but yeah, it's just really opening my eyes to whatever you focus your attention on, that's what's going to grow. Focus your attention on the things that you're truly trying to do, you're truly trying to achieve, and only take on bills that you signed up for. Because looking back to my biggest bills, realistically, my biggest bills were due to peer pressure in some facet. My biggest bills weren't because I wanted to get them. It was because I felt the pressure from things around me to sign up for it. And I just allowed it to happen, which is partially my fault, right? But acknowledging that, like, okay, now I have responsibilities I have to fulfill off of decisions that really it was mine, but I was peer pressured into. So, you know, it's just accountability. That's one thing. Um, Gratefulness, because even though all of this is transpiring, I can't say I went to a film school. I can't say, you know, I've studied editing, whatever the case may be. Get that piece of paper. We never know how it may help me in the future, which is why I can't, you know, just throw it to the back burner completely because Lord knows what that may open, right? I genuinely don't know until the day happens. But I've ran into so many entrepreneurs who are actually in the field, you know, making money, trying to, you know, secure their legacy, do their thing too. Look at me and say that degree is not gonna help you unless you're trying to go like work for Disney or work for some big corporate company. But as an entrepreneur, we don't check that. We don't look for that. You're doing something completely different, right? It's good that you have the skill set, but we're never going to fact check you on that piece of paper. It's not going to come up, right? Like I said, it's the different rooms, and I've noticed where my spirit lands is usually with entrepreneurs, artists, business owners, brand owners, creatives, models, whatever, anything creative. That's usually where my spirit lands. So I feel like I got to take that as a sign, you know? And let's see what God has for us, right? Because I truly don't know. Yes, that bill is about to be hefty. I'm gonna have to apply another level to my hustle, right? Because now I have to make more, which means as an entrepreneur, I have to give more, become more efficient, or I have to make a switch, right? I have to level up my finances. So it's okay. We're okay. We think through these situations. But just a reminder to people that bills are real. You will have to pay your student loan debt, right? So if you're going to go to college, do it because you want to. And when you do go to college, do it in something that you actually want to do, right? And start doing it while you're in school. Don't use school as a crutch. Excuse me. Because my personal branding or my professional branding class was the last month. It's this month. It's only 1 month of them teaching us how to actually sell ourselves, make a portfolio, whatever the case may be, right? They don't necessarily set you up to get a job. They set you up with the skill set, if that makes sense. I really hope you guys are like catching what I'm saying. Um, you still gotta kill what you eat, in other words. So if you know that's going to be the circumstance at one point or another, invest your energy sooner than later. So then when that bill starts to come, that debt starts to hit, you have a choice. I see a lot of people graduating and they start feeling stuck. I ran into, I was crazy too, because it's like, I believe it was like my first like 2 years at the school. I ran into somebody who was like, bro, I just graduated, I'm alumni, but I can't get a job because I can't afford the programs that we had while we were in school, all the equipment, all this other type of stuff. I just can't get a job. That scared the shit out of me. And that made me go even harder into my entrepreneurial aspects. So, yeah, I guess that's enough ranting. Y'all can take what y'all please from this video. Go to school if you want to. Yeah, do that. That's, yeah.